Hello and welcome to 3.2 TV. I am your host Vishakha Thakur. Cryptocurrency enthusiasts are perplexed by the rising dominance of Bitcoin, its market cap relative to the entire cryptocurrency market, which is prompting some traders and investors to rethink their strategies concerning altcoins. While the trend has led a change in sentiment towards altcoins, which is waning quickly, analysts are reluctant to recommend buying Bitcoin as some risk to that end still persists. They are pointing to social risk. So let's understand from Bitcoin technical analyst and influencer Benjamin Corwin what are the social risks and its impact on altcoin.
We have maintained a fairly bearish view on the altcoin market really since the beginning of 2022. And it's because of the social risk that it gives us some insight into liquidity. You can also look at, sort of the net liquidity model that we've shown on TradingView. But if you just look at interest in cryptocurrency content, it almost gives you an idea of if liquidity is entering the cryptoverse or leaving the.
Well, Bitcoin's market dominance has historically been a leading indicator of market sentiment. Rising Bitcoin dominance means sentiment towards altcoins is waning, as per several analysts. But that does not guarantee price of Bitcoin trending higher. Corwin explains the reason behind such observation.
At last cycle, by the way, this is the social risk, this orange line. The blue line is the price of Bitcoin. If you look at last cycle, while it did sort of put in its lows in 2018, it still kind of hugged those lows, and it did not really begin an uptrend until the halving year, right? Until the halving year started, the social risk did not really begin an uptrend.
Talking about Bitcoin's dominance, the rate rose to 52.45% on Monday, reaching the highest since April 2021. Now, what triggered an increase in dominance is fall in social risk.
When you go back to the social risk, you can see that it was in the halving year, right? At the very end of December of the pre-halving year and then going into the halving year, the social risk started to put in higher lows, and it wasn't just sort of hugging these lows at the bottom. So as the social risk was going higher, so too was the altcoin market, right? The altcoin market was going higher with it. We, of course, had a recession, a very brief one. And what you'll notice is that it's true that the social risk came down into that recession, but it was a higher low, right? It was a higher low. It's the reverse of what we've been talking about for the last 2 years, where it's just been lower highs and lower lows, right? Now, the social risk put in a new low as recently as last month, and altcoins continue to go lower, and the Bitcoin dominance.
Well, the potential catalysts for the crypto market are Bitcoin specific, like the halving and the potential approval of a spot ETF.
As we get closer to the halving year, we have to be on alert. Some of the trends could potentially change. We must remember, though, that if a recession materializes at some point, let's say we do get a recession next year, then that could lead to some type of move like we saw last cycle. And it might last longer than it did last cycle, because last cycle the Fed was very quick to print. Maybe this cycle they take a few months to print, right? Maybe they take a little bit longer, and so we could spend longer at those lower levels if that were to happen. But the point is that at this phase, we still have 2.5 months of the pre-halving year. And history shows us that we really shouldn't expect activity to pick up until the halving year. So my expectation has been, and will continue to be, that the altcoin market will bleed in the pre-halving year.
So far, so good. The future of Bitcoin is linked to several factors as discussed earlier. There are certain ongoing concerns that are slowly building and may cause trepidation among investors. They are interest rate, economic recession, etc. These factors will continue to affect crypto markets. But for now, the Bitcoin seems well placed to consolidate its market dominance. That's it in this special update. This is me, Vishakha Thakur, signing off. For more such updates, log on to our website www.3versetv.io or scan the QR code.